Finally, Big Les fans are getting an update.
What are you talking about?
It's been about a year since Donnie and Clarence concluded, and whilst most Big Les Show fans are, used to long waiting times,
Felt like fucking 5,000 years or something.
I think everyone will still be excited by some news coming forward about the next show. No pressure on Jarrad, it's an amazing show, and of course it takes time. The next show we're going to be getting is The Stinging Rodger. It has finally been put on IMDB, but only in pro mode to be able to see things, so you have to purchase it or, wink wink, purchase it, you know what I mean? However, the description reads simply, a new addition to the Big Les universe. The Stingin Rodger introduces a new, even more vivacious character to the bunch, Stingin Rodger. The show follows Rodger and the gang across even more dimension-hopping adventures. Keyword and the gang. It seems like we are finally getting another all-the-characters show, basically since the end of Season 4. Whilst I know that obviously Sassy the Sasquatch had some elements of an all-character show, some of the characters were present in Nolan's spin-offs, and a few of the characters were also present during, obviously, Donnie and Clarence. We haven't really gotten a storyline, plot-focused series with all the characters since the end of Season 4, and I believe that's what this is going to be. Obviously, we have an amazing cover art that follows Nigel, which I'm not surprised. I believe that evidence was everywhere that they were building that. Ever since the Sassy the Sasquatch show, we've seen things pointing towards a Nigel-focused show in itself, or a Nigel-focused plotline, because whilst the other shows haven't followed a plotline with all the gang, they have definitely been hinting towards something. In the Sassy the Sasquatch show, we get shown how a portal shows up in Nigel's backyard and causes issues, and interdimensional creatures keep coming through it. That is followed up on in the Donnie and Clarence show, as Nigel, goes to Donnie's shop and asks to buy some ammo because the ranch is getting crazy. And I believe this show is probably going to be them trying to fix whatever Sassy opened up, to put it nicely. I don't know who Rodger's going to be. I actually have no idea. I hope we see Warning Guy again. We haven't seen Warning Guy in a while. Last we saw of him, he was fighting a kraken. Since then, we have not seen his precious little Scottish face. But other than that, I really am. I'm not sure. These are my predictions. Let's get into some predictions. My prediction for the Stinging Rodger series is, well, obviously they're going to be doing the dimension hopping as explained in the little description. However, I believe they'll be doing that to help close the portal in Nigel's backyard, as it will be causing interdimensional issues. I don't know if they're going to come across Big Les in any sort of way. I kind of hope that they don't, and Jarrad sticks to his guns in keeping Les dead, because obviously the fans, for fan servicey reasons, they really want Les. Les is kind of the whole massive shadow looming over the series. I hope he doesn't bend to it. However, I do believe that this show will be covering more backstories of more of the characters from all over time, and hopefully progressing a new narrative that we can follow for a few seasons, instead of these one-off spin-off seasons, which have been great, but I think the Big Les fandom has been missing a one contiguous storyline that hasn't really happened in a while. Now, thankfully for the Big Les Show fans, we have been getting some stuff. For example, Tom Hollis put out his show recently, The Fellas, which takes place 200,000 years after the Big Les Show, depicting Earth and Australia post-tumors, post all of that. However, I'm sure the tumors will be showing up. Tom Hollis being a supporting voice on the Big Les Show ever since the beginning, being the actor of the tumors. We have gotten some Big Les Show related content out of the universe recently, so Big Les Show fans can rejoice that we're getting not only that new spin-off show, The Fellas, which is tangentially related, not exactly the same comedy style. You can definitely notice the difference between Tom Hollis, his team, and Jarrad Wright's comedy. They're definitely not the same show, to put it that way. However, we are finally getting back to some classic Big Les Show theming here. Nigel leading the way. I'm glad for that. Nigel has been an interesting character throughout the spin-offs. I'm glad the spin-offs have given him ample time to be built up as this mysterious farm owner who got fucked over by Sassy in many ways. And honestly, I'm just really excited to see where we go. I hope we get more the guy that dies. But yeah, hopefully Warning Guy comes back, Sergio Warnington comes back, and now that all the characters have gotten to be developed in their own shows, I really do hope that Jarrad gets to really play around and have fun with the characters once again, which I kind of feel like he was already doing that in the Donnie and Clarence show, obviously. That show was way less serious than something like the Sassy the Sasquatch show, which genuinely had some very emotional moments and was very artsy in its presentation. I saw Jarrad talking on a podcast with his friend Tom, another Tom, about how he wanted to make a show that was music first, as in like he made an album and then the show was created out of that album, and I definitely think that's what Sassy the Sasquatch ended up being. And it was a very artsy, very well put together show. But he didn't really get to play around in that show. That show was very serious. There weren't that many jokes. I mean, there were, but there weren't that many, you know what I mean? But Donnie and Clarence kind of just felt like, what if all of those parts in every episode where everyone's just bashing on Clarence became one show? And everyone's just bashing on Clarence the whole time? And it's not like really Clarence gets his get back necessarily. I mean, he does pull the ultimate prank on Donnie at the very end there, and does get Donnie specifically very well on his get back. I am curious to see if the dynamic with Clarence will change, or he'll go back to being that punching bag that he always has been. But yeah, I am curious to see how much the character development genuinely does impact the games and the fun that is had in this story. I am super curious. I believe Nigel and all the boys are going to have to go across time to save something, and they're going to meet Rodger along the way. No idea who Rodger is, but I'm hyped either way. Do you reckon Rodger is Les from another universe? Do you reckon Rodger's a Sasquatch? Nah, Rodger sounds like another Nolan type guy, to be honest. Comment your theories about Rodger down below, because I'm clueless. Let me know if you know something that I don't. Will we be bringing any of Nolan, like, will we bring Crazy Steve along with us? Or is Crazy Steve just going to remain a very, Nolan show spin-off character? Anyway, that's really all that we know so far about the Stinging Rodger. Its IMDB description, which is hidden once again, but all we know is Jarrad's working on it, which, of course he's working on it. And yeah, I think Big Les Show fans are going to be eating good this year, as they have every single year that Jarrad has delivered a new show, as he is truly very good at what he does. Anyway, wait, what were we talking about?